the Olympics is not going to make any difference of the skill of the person that's preparing for it. Of course, everyone said we're artists and athletes, but we are also like really athletes. We do physically things that are impossible for the normal human. He creates a name for himself, and that's what I like to see. If you enjoy your art, you're gonna become much better than if you force your art and then you're like, I have to go to practice today because my rounds were not that good. Or no, it's like I like to train.
Let's take it back to the WDSF Africa Champs. You came second, but there is an argument that you actually won. So talk to me about your experiences and what your thoughts were on that.
First of all, it was a really great experience because it was my first WDSF, actually. I didn't do any other WDSF before that. And yeah, the whole experience towards it was a kind of like a hassle for me to do it, because I was trying to, like, because I have a double citizenship. So it means I could choose by free will, like if I would dance for Holland or for Morocco. So yeah, I decided to go for Morocco. So what I had to do in the beginning is to qualify for the team in March. That was 23. So I did the qualifier in March, and when I got qualified for the team, I just basically prepared for the Africa Champs, because I heard like it was direct spot to the Olympics. And it was really nice. Like I prepared really solid. It was a good preparation. It was also like, it's going to be the only one in Africa. So I was like giving it my all. And it was also during my biggest training month, was also during the Ramadan. So I was just like fasting and training. So it was like double as intense. But no, it was really cool. And then when I did it, I actually felt really good. Yeah, until the final. That it was kind of weird, because I lost the final on a one vote base. And the reason I thought that I didn't lose was because I went to look back at the votes. It was like that one vote gave me 3 categories, but 2 categories went to the opponent. And then still, I'm really happy for him that he, of course, went. It's a big opportunity for this person. And also, of course, there was a Moroccan final, but it was a weird, because I thought like the majority of the votes of the category wins, but 2 votes went to this person, and he won on a percentage that was like 0.2%. So then he took the vote. So it was like a kind of confusing thing that I'm like, okay, that cost the Olympics.
So then how do you get ready for that in your training with the system being as it is? Like, how have you had to change your approach?
Basically, I did a lot of studying. Of course, I watched all the breaking for gold battles. First of all, like I asked a lot of questions because my boys were doing it. Laguette was doing it. Lorenzo was doing it. Lee was doing it. They were fully into it. So of course, like I knew I'm not going to do a lot of breaking for gold series also, and because it's not like really my thing, the whole to battle by the system. My style of breaking is also, as you know, it's like it's more in the moment. It's doing like, really hard moves, but also be like really just go with the flow of the moment of the battle. So to really pack your rounds from beginning till the end, it's a different ball game. It's actually just putting more content in your rounds. That's actually how I see it. It's putting more content in your rounds. But of course, like I was studying a lot how the system works. So you start to see like how people are dancing, why people are dancing that certain approach. So you start to see they're putting like much more content in their rounds. They have like a really good stamina, their execution, the variation, also the way they repeat their rounds later on, because it's like you have to throw like 17 rounds. And like some guys, they they use like every time new shit, and some people they repeat their stuff. So it's also to see how they are repeating their stuff, and you know, like why do they win this breaking for goal series, and why do they lose that series? You know, like what makes it different, and how do the judges look at it? So you kind of start to see like a pattern, you know, like the way you have to perform. And for me, it was just like really basically like you need like solid rounds from beginning to end. You cannot show fatigueness, and you just have to really battle. And you know, also to get back to it, like don't be a machine. You know, that's also you realize if you're too much breaking like a machine, it's gonna work against you in the later rounds. So my preparation was just like to create 17 rounds, to have 17 rounds of like variety, and of course like not to repeat, and just to execute everything. So it means like to have your stamina really on point. So my preparation was just like the rounds, and just drill the rounds, and doing a lot of battle rounds at practice, and you know, to really recreate the environment of the event at your practice, because it's not like a world final BC1 kind of like that you do the top 16 and from there that's it. Like you do the qualifier, you know, you do the top 32, you do like if you are lucky, you do the top 32. Otherwise, you just have to do the top 64 and do the top 32. So it means you already have 5 rounds that you have to do. You know, take a little break and then do the group battles. That's another 6 rounds, and then take a rest and do the top 8 battles. So that's like 3, 3, 3. If you're lucky, it's gonna be 2, and then 3. But just say like for bad luck, it's another 9 rounds. So you know, before you know, like you throw like more than 20 rounds. So just be prepared on that, you know. And yeah, for all the how you say for all the circumstances, this is what I was doing like for my preparation, just to understand like, okay, this is the system, this is what you need, and that's it. Like, and just be in the moment. It's still a battle. It's a battle that you do next door. You still see the same opponents, so it's nothing changing. It's on a different platform. There's like much more pressure around it if you see it that way. Like it's Olympics, it's medals, it's, you know, cameras. It's like sport people in suits and stuff. But next to that is just be really prepared in the moment, because anything can happen.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I noticed when I was watching that. I noticed that there was a lot more movements that you used that we're not really used to seeing you like do. Obviously, you've worked on them, so it was always there. But in terms of like your first instincts for using them, I think there were a lot of things there that we weren't really used to seeing you do. So was there a part of you thinking that this felt unnatural, or I don't move this way, and I needed to move this way to make it work within the Olympics and everything like that?
No, actually, because for a long while, I'm trying to evolve my whole breaking to a much more all round. Like my interest in the whole breaking is to explore more of it. There was a period of time that I really like to do the power and the blow ups, and still to this day. But I also like to explore more, and I always had a feeling of like to develop and to evolve my style to make it more like in a way that I really like to dance that way. So I knew that my formula is gonna work if I would use it. And you know, like the artist is never like, you know, it's never satisfying. They're never satisfied. So you're always looking to develop your style until it's there. And I knew for myself, like I want to dance this way. And for a lot that are not used to seeing me like dance that way, it's like, of course, it works. For a competition level, it works. So definitely, you know, to how you say, to fill up your rounds and to make your rounds big, you need all of your arsenal. You have to use everything. You cannot use 50% of your arsenal, because always I've been dancing always the way, like the last couple of years. I always have so much movement, but it's still like it's strange for your body to never use it. But from the Africa champs, you like I decided like, yeah, this is how I want to dance, and it also like shows you like, okay, this makes me feel comfortable much more, and that's why it was like, okay, now you're gonna see like a different part of how I'm be dancing, like, and that's like a thing that I've really worked on. It's to work on the stuff that you never use, to really, like take it and show it like to the world to see, because it's not only for the Olympics, it's also for the other events and competitions, because you really need, if you want to last for 15 rounds, you need content. That's the game. Like, you need as much as stuff as you want, and to throw power for 17 rounds, it's like you're gonna see so much repetition, because there's just this much of a power that you can do. So you need to build a foundation around it that's gonna fit your breaking. So that's how I saw it. Like, okay, how can I have unlimited rounds with my own style that I can just develop, and without making it also heavy? Because like, to go each round like explosive and 150%, it's your body's gonna be burned out. So it's tactical, like you really need to be smart in your breaking. Like, before I was like never thinking, like I would just throw, but now I'm breaking much smarter.
That's fair enough. And I think what the Olympics has done has challenged a lot of people in terms of the rounds that they do, their conditioning, their mindset. I think it's made a lot of people elevate their level. But then you also think as well that I think at first there were a lot of people that were concerned that the Olympics would only be for a certain type of dancer. But it just seems like the people that are winning every other event are also winning here. And it's the same with you as well. And the fact that if you're at a high level at all these different events, you'll also be at a high level for this as well. So how do you move into the OQS with the knowledge that, okay, you're there and there's only maybe 2 events, you came second. How will you get ready for those events?
Yeah, it's like you get ready. Like, now I've been training for a while now, so you just have to give it all, like don't take it easy, like prepare for the worst. And like the way I'm preparing is just like, you're much more focused. Like, if you see it the way, because everybody, like before the whole Olympics, like, just if I can explain like this, before the Olympics, b-boys were practicing either way. Some people were practicing every day, or their diet was just like eating crap, or like, they have an unhealthy lifestyle, but they still training. And you see where they at, the level where they at. I mean, the Olympics is not going to make any difference of the skill of the person that's preparing for it. It's just like my mind is just like, hey, just prepare for the events. That's it. Like, the skill level, the way you practice is still the same. Like, just keep your passion high and enjoy the journey towards it. That's what I learned. Like, you have to enjoy the process, because a lot of people can be stressed because there's 2 competitions, and if they're not gonna make it, hey, I cannot go to the Olympics. It's not that. It's like you're gonna put a pressure because of um, the outside that's giving you pressure. Because people, it's still a competition. It's still a jam. Just, it's a jam. Like, hey, you practice, enjoy. Like, if you enjoy your art, you're gonna become much better than if you force your art, and then you're like, I have to go to practice today because my rounds were not that good. Or no, it's like, I like to train. That's the thing. Like, I love to train. I love to be physical busy and to be tired. And like, now I have a reason to do it like much more, because I'm enjoying the process towards this OQS. much more, because it's like as a b-boy, like we get handed something that's really big, and like it's you feel like an athlete, like we are athletes. Yeah, of course, everyone said we're artists and athletes, but we are also like really athletes. We do physically things that are impossible for the normal human. That's what I would say. So to train, to wake up, to start running, to go to the gym, and then go to practice and be tired, feeling your sore body, and it's a nice process. So I'm really enjoying each day to give my all, because at that moment when it's OQS time, you know, nothing matters. Like the numbers that the smart people of the sport committee are like entering, they're like saying like, oh, now your your progress is like by 5% up. Nothing matters at that point. Like it doesn't matter how much curls you did with the dumbbells. No. What matters is, hey, did you take your craft seriously? Are you enjoying breaking? Because when this is over, hey, the world is still gonna turn. Like it's never gonna stop turning. So gotta keep enjoying the craft. Otherwise, you're just gonna be like, oh, I finished. Now I'm gonna be depressed, because that's what happens with a lot of Olympians that are not like in the sport business. When they get the medal, they fall into a depression because they don't know what to do else anymore, because they were focusing all the way towards the Olympics, and when the adventure was done, the adventure is done. So don't take it that serious. Like take yourself serious, enjoy your craft, and you're gonna become much better than just being obsessed by one event. Just be as best as you can be today and be better tomorrow.
Yeah, that is a very common thing that you hear with winners. Once they've won, once they've reached their height, what's next for them? And often, as you see in other sports, they fall into having mental health issues, and then things don't really work out well for them. And as you said, because they only focused on that, that was their whole life. And then it's sort of, it sounds like an exaggeration, but they think that their life is over because they've already done that. And then is that a big inspiration for your events? I know you do like all the CrashFest type of things, which it does seem like a light-hearted a touch to everything else that we see. Just talk a bit about that.
So yeah, as you can see, like same with CrashFest. Like for me, CrashFest is about like to bring back the passion of skills and breaking, and to enjoy that, because everybody's so focused on the rules, 100 things of rules, and rules are meant to be broken at some points, and Crash Fest. That's why I have crashes, and I never thought like, because I never thought like, yeah, I want to have an event and to make against all the other events. No, it's more to have an event that's being there for your passion. So you don't think about like, oh, who's judging, or are the people, or how's the floor. Nah, it's just like, hey, look at each other and give each other the fire and enjoy what's happening there. Enjoy the skills instead of hoping to win that day. Like even if you lose, you go away with a feeling that you did something amazing, and you look back at it and you feel proud. And everybody's so focused on the competitions that by accident I have something that is the opposite of the Olympics, and that's what I want to keep elevating, so people still can like create a future and to be recognized, and like who knows, like even financial, like there will be sponsors, bigger sponsors that will sponsor this type of events to have it, that people can enjoy the skills instead of the kind of like, oh, who's winning or who's losing, or you know that's kind of my whole vision that I want to happen, like for the whole breaking community to have like skateboarding, like I take the example of skating, like that's a big example for me, because look at skateboarding. You have skateboarding in Olympics, but do all the skaters talk about Olympics? They don't give a shit about it, because they have their whole community. They are making money. They are enjoying. They're shooting videos. They have tons of competitions that are huge, and But still, like when you see them losing, you just see them kicking it, like having fun. Yeah, I don't give a shit, cuz they are good. It is what it is. They enjoy. They are like, yeah, never mind. I'm just gonna hit like some staircases tomorrow. I'm gonna shoot a video, and everybody's gonna love it, and people gonna get that recognition for that person hitting that type of staircase, not that person winning SLS or the Olympics. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
This is what I kind of like see in my vision that I want to happen.
It also gives people more options because for some people, if they it takes a particular type of person to enter your events because they dare to dream big, they're really pushing their level, and that might not fit within a one-on-one format or even within a 2v2 format. So it gives them the opportunity to just like go wild and to just think of anything that they can do.
Exactly, like like you said, you see a lot of guys that are not winning any one-on-one competition, or people you don't even know them. Like he's like, who's this guy? And suddenly the guy enters with top-notch b-boys that are winning hell of competitions. Like you can say, like example, like it was the Brazil CrashFest, and like there was a lineup with Lee. Tsuki was in it. Lil G, Alvin. Who else? Castrito. There was a lot of heavy hitters, and then like one guy, his name is Rex. He came from the Amazonia. Like with just the money to pay his travel to go to the event, and then he with the skills that he showed, winning 2 belts at that moment, and it's like everybody's like, who is this guy? And then he kills it. It and then suddenly this guy wins like something like that amazing that's made for him, you know. And then he travels to the World Final Paris and he wins another belt, like for like the BMF. It's like he creates a name for himself, and that's what I like to see. Is like I want to see like guys that you see on the videos on the internet. You're like, wow, I want to see this guy live, but with no pressure, because probably they're gonna crumble under pressure of judges. That's what's with me too. Like before, I did so much hard stuff, but there was never a platform that I was like, I feel comfortable to hit all of this while the judges are watching, and maybe they're not even understanding what it is, but some of the crowd would understand it, but then you would lose, and then you don't like feel so much motivated because you just want to do your shit, like you just want to hit your stuff and like try the most difficult part. And that's how I always saw it, like people just like creating moments. That's what I would say, like, hey, you want to be a legend, this is your moment, like.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the 90s era where people wanted to be remembered a lot and the moves that were coming out were unreal. And that's one of the things that I love about your events is that no one's really trying to do any full sets. They're just trying to think, how can I make the biggest impact? How can I make everybody go, holy shit, what was that? And it really does remind me of the 90s era. And I think it's needed. Obviously, with social media, there's that opportunity. But then with a platform like yours, it's an even like bigger opportunity to be recognized and to also do what you love also.
Yeah. Yeah, but like you said, 90s era, that's big inspiration for me too, the early 2000s and like the late 90s, but mostly the early 2000s, because there was a level in also in the US. There was a lot of cats that were just entering, even the friends, they were just entering, like hitting like a short set that's like crazy, and that's it. Like, and people would go mad. Like they were not like like throwing like full rounds. They were just like killing. And you see like the hype. Like I think there was like one battle that really also like inspired me was like trigonometry. There was like Charles against Freaky
Trigonometry. I
Zord.
remember that one.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was
That was
crazy.
like that's the hype. That's the moments that you want to see, and like old IBE, and the 2004 or the 2005, like people start to just like skills, and even the old freestyle sessions. The way you see like Boy. you know, like just in the shorts, you know, shirt off, and then he start to throw like elbows one end and bam, and that's it. And people will go mad, you know, like that's the that you want to see. Like you are just enjoying this, like damn, short rounds and just burns. Like it's and nobody gives a shit. Like, hey, you got smoked. Okay, yeah, I did a 10-second round. I did a 5-second round. Nobody cares. But it's this what's about. And then you see people like, you know, getting involved in it, you know, like, you know, if when you see Crumbs back in the day, like the way he went in, you know, he just did like the slow halo walk, you know, and people were just like losing their mind. And that's much more like Ruin, you know, like this type of guys, they really like created this type of just go in, hit your shit and get out.
Of course.
It create beautiful moments, you know, create beautiful moments.
It really is. Well, look, there's only maybe two other things that I want to ask you just to wrap this up. The first thing, in an ideal world, what does the rest of the year look like for you? And then, secondly, with the Olympics coming up for the first time and maybe the last time because it's not at the LA Games, why should people be watching?
Definitely. So, um, shall I start with the second one? I will start with the second question. Why people should watch the Olympics to definitely open your eyes. You know, like breaking is the most difficult, the most impressive for me, physical discipline that exists in sport now. I can like it's the most artistic. Like for me, that's the game. Like you of course you have gymnastics, but gymnastics is between the lines. It's always between the lines. Breaking is much more because breaking it's like there's no soft floor, there's no bars. This is just straight up. You have a floor, and you have guys doing like crazy stuff. So people should definitely be watching because physically you have to understand how hard it is, and that's why they should watch it. And also watch more breaking, like you know, like try to understand, watch the go like I hope like people would understand how hard breaking is because this would like create much more opportunities than just Olympics. Because even if the Olympics won't happen, people like it's nice to see people getting the sponsors they get the recognition they get, but the recognition for me it's still like below. It's a start, it's a good start, but it's still below what breakers really deserve on on this world, you know,
I
and
agree
how
with
it
you.
looks. Yeah, yeah. So it's for me, it's like it should. This shouldn't be the limit. The Olympics is not the limit of breaking for me. That's what I would say because the Olympics is gonna have 16 b-boys and I think 60 b-girls. That's not the world. You know, that's a part. That's like a 0.1% of the scene. Yeah, that's not everything. That's not everybody. So breaking is bigger than people would expect. So I hope people would see it everywhere. You know, like the world is so much bigger than that, and breakdancing is really big. What my plan would be is qualifying for the OQS, of course. That's what my whole main focus is. Working hard every day, you know, enjoying my craft, you know, giving it my all, you know, elevate, giving the people something new. That's what I wanted to show. Like, I want to show them, like, hey, you know, I had a big injury in 22, and it was a part of my recovery to get back to everything. And I want to show a 2.0 of myself, surprise everybody, take my spot that I lost in the Africa Champs. Because I'm a pity guy. I'm gonna take my spot back. I don't care. Like it's my that's I like competition. Like I love it, you know, and it's a great challenge. So I'm gonna take my spot back and you know to be at my best and to have the chance, of course, like to be at the Olympics and to represent for my stuff, represent my family, represent my people that helped me with this all of it, you know, like and to create legendary moments. And you know, if everything is written there for me, you know, like you will get it. But for now, it's just like really hard work and enjoy the craft. And yeah, that's and of course, like the week after the Olympics, it's gonna be CrashFest, and I'm gonna have like a new concept also entering with CrashFest called SpinFest. So it's gonna be two events in one night. There's gonna be one focused on the best spinners, so people with like the best 90s head spin, whatever. It's gonna have this, and then next one is gonna be CrashFest, the after one. So we're gonna show the sport, the physical, and then a week after we're gonna show what the culture is about. So the people that are not in the Olympics, we're gonna see also these guys that should be at the Olympics, that should break world records, and like this what would happen. Like my plan is like to keep elevating my level as a individual, as a b-boy, and to elevate Crash Fest to a competition that's gonna be as big as, you know, as a BC1, as a SLS skate event, to create a community that's gonna give so much opportunities to the scene that we're gonna enjoy breaking for the skills again. So there will be a platform that I really want to build out, and to have that CrashFest is gonna become the UFC of breaking. Basically, that's how I'm gonna see it. And that's my plan, and it's gonna happen. I'm working hard on it, so there's two sides that I really want to bring out. So like, yeah, I hope people are gonna stay tuned in the future, because a lot of big changes are gonna come that I'm working on, and it's gonna be really interesting because breaking is becoming mainstream, and it's a good time, to also show like what the culture has to um, give.